What's good with YouTube? Y'all already know, Big Flacco with a convicts reaction where I smash, dash, and react. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, and do all those things to help support this channel. And hit that bell notification for future fire contents. As you can tell, there was an incident where a few Bulldogs got rushed by Norteños and Sureños. And you can see them getting chopped up. And man, it was pretty bad. It was pretty gruesome. And that's the reality of today's Bulldogs on these main lines. They're going to be spread out to different locations sooner or later. And we already know what's happened the last two places they tried to place the Bulldogs. There's been incidents. Now, a lot of people have different reactions to this incident, right? And I'm going to try to take a whole different course of reacting to something different. My whole thing is looking at that situation. My reaction to it is this. Shame on the Norteños. Straight up, shame on the Norteños. Over 30 years ago, the roles were reversed. It was the Bulldogs that were on these yards in Avenal, Corcoran, Pleasant Valley, and other locations to where they were coexisting in programming with the Southsiders. They were also doing the Southsiders beatings. They were the first to be sent on certain missions. They were basically being utilized by the Southside card. It was in those years of like 91, 92, 93, and even 94, where that same video that you've seen on the Lieutenant's channel, it would have been Norteños being rushed by 30 Sureños, 10 Bulldogs, and whatnot. Now, I remember for years, the homeboys complained about the Bulldogs being utilized with the Southsiders to have huger numbers and to get removed off the yard. And a lot of times it was way more than they could handle, just like with these Bulldogs. So, knowing the Norteño cause and lucha and all the growing changes that have happened in the Department of Corrections, you know, this right here to me shined a lot of light on a true essence of people forgetting where they come from, okay? Because for them to sit there and aid the Southsiders in removing these Bulldogs was totally unnecessary. It was basically mob mentality, like I said, right? Bullies basically on that yard. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the Bulldogs were just getting there. Knowing that they had the numbers, the pieces, and whatnot to do the most damage. Yet homeboys want to claim how the Bulldogs got used, right? What about how the Norteños are being used in this? To attack other raza. I also see a lot of Bulldogs talking about how, yeah, we went out there, pedals, all the dogs and whatnot, even though we were outnumbered. The same could be said of Norteños 30 years before, when the Bulldogs were actually assisting the Southsiders at that time, okay? People forget that, you know, Northerners went to every yard and were outnumbered, you know. They made certain yards to where they could put Bulldogs, like in Avenal and Soledad, Salinas Valley, and Corcoran and whatnot, with yards that were truly almost run directly by them because of the numbers that they had on these yards. And knowing the Norteño cause and laws, right, they're supposed to stand up against the oppressors, against those that want to abuse other minority groups or those of Latin descent. The Bulldogs, I guarantee you, most are minorities and most are of Latin descent. So I see all these videos of people reacting to what happened. To me, it's more about how the Norteños reacted, that they actually joined forces to remove a group, and they did it like in a superior fashion. They did it with adding numbers to an already small fucking collective that they're going against. It makes no sense. It's not really even something that's viewed honorable. You send that many people to jump, like 6, 7 people. Either the Southsiders handle their business or the Northerners handle their business. And like I said, it made no sense. You know, the Norteño cause and lucha was never about oppressing any other group. It was about having a place where you could fucking plant your flag and take advantage of all things at that said facility for your people, right? And opening doors for other razas and other minority groups that are worthy to your cause to have the same goals and agendas together. Now, the Bulldogs are taking on all this on their own. They're being oppressed, they're being attacked, they're being all that, right? They have that one incident, where was it? Ironwood, where 15 got rushed by 150. Where is the respect and honor in that? Now, if they're going to go at it with the Bulldogs, so be it. You know, that's not an issue to me. But don't jump in and join forces with the Sureños, because remember, it was the Sureños that used to send the fucking Bulldogs first to say, hey, any buster shows up to this yard, you guys have to take them out. Remember, it was them that acted like they were superior, not letting certain ends touch down on certain R's and telling them to put on their shirts and whatnot. The North Daniel cause is supposed to stand against any type of aggression. The problem is with this situation is the Bulldogs are a traditional enemy. Now I get taking action, but it's kind of a shame that they have to join forces with a group that in a lot of eyes back in the days was looked at as a group that associates with the oppressor. Like I said, don't get it misconstrued. It's good to coexist. It's good to have those respectful relationships, and it's cool that Northerners and Southerners are interacting and whatnot. But know your boundaries, man. Know that one side still has one agenda and one agenda only, which is to be the most powerful fucking group in the prison system and to control everybody else under their fucking wing. The minute you start to give them an inch, they're going to try to take a mile. So that's why, like I said, there should have always been boundaries when it came to this political issue. That video of the Bulldogs getting rushed, back in the days, that was the Northerners getting rushed. Whoever had authority jurisdiction and made the call for them to involve themselves, if the Bulldogs touched down and assisted the Southsiders the way they did, that's some weak shit. Straight up, they should have either told the Southsiders, hey, step on back, we're going to deal with this, or they should just let the Southsiders go out and handle their business. In fact, watching that video, I'm going to keep it real. I wanted to jump in and help the Bulldogs, and it wasn't a matter of me believing in what the Bulldogs believe in. I just don't like shit like that, man, where motherfuckers are basically bullies, man. You know what I'm saying? Jumping on dudes 4 or 5, you know? You look at it. I mean, I'm watching the whole thing. I'm like, dude, there's very few people in that fucking whole group that have hands. Straight up. Very few. And let's also keep it real. Them Bulldogs in that video didn't react well either. You know, for all the talk that they taking on a lot of fucking numbers, they did not look impressive at all, man. Let's keep it at 100 on that end. I'm not gonna lie though, man. I was real disappointed in what I seen. You know, it wasn't like they were going at it with against a fucking, you know, SNY fucking yard or a bunch of fucking chomos or, you know, individuals of that caliber that are trying to attack active individuals. I could see them coexisting and getting off together. This is a group that just touched down from fucking R&R. You know, it's a weak move. It's not what the North Day was supposed to be about when they established themselves over 45 years ago. You know, they were about protecting the people. You know, and what I mean by people, I mean any race that would be worthy to the cause and what they believed in, which was the betterment of the people to be on a guard without the threat or interference of any group. That's what it comes down to, the threat. Now, by the Northerners acting in that capacity that they did, they're acting just like an oppressor, like an oppressive group. You know, joining a fucking alliance or joining a fucking field of individuals that have a different agenda than what the North Day is really all about, or used to be all about. Now, I wasn't triggered by this video. This is just how I speak. I'm a very emotional speaker when I speak on these things, right? And, you know, it's just unfortunate people, you know, don't have that, what do you call, moral compass to do the right things or to stand by beliefs that have meaning, that have a purpose. That shit just looked like a bunch of thugs just trying to fucking take out another group they were outnumbering. It looked like a bunch of bullies that were just reacting. Now, don't get me wrong. It's cool to see groups have different relationships than they did years before, right? That's an awesome thing. But not when it comes to situations like this, man. You know, do so for the right reasons, not the reasons to be just like the oppressor or the dictators. Because that's exactly how this situation looked. Now, another thing I was looking at, I was comparing the riot video in Pelican Bay, Southsiders against the blacks, right? Those Southsiders in that video were fucking with it, right? I compared both videos, right? One, you could tell they're going full force with it. The other one, man, no wonder in Salinas Valley they took 3 losses in a row. Straight up. Anyhow, this reaction is something a little bit different than others. You know, people are just talking about it. I wanted to talk about the, you know, my feeling about how this puts a stain upon the North Daniels legacy, man. It's just not a good look. It takes away all the years of sacrifice. Those that were really on those lines pushing a real movement, right? It no longer exists. This video just pretty much proves it. That's it, your boy Flacco. Convict's Reaction. I'm gone.